Hello guys, welcome back to another video. So as I mentioned in my previous video, I thought it would be fun to do a tour of some of the worlds that we have finished up in Do Save File. So as you can see, looking at the screen, we are in the completed Willow Creek. Yes, it is done as far as builds go. Honestly, the townies are also mostly finished too. I just have to go in and finish giving them skills, completing their lore, all those good things. But yes, Willow Creek is one of the many worlds that are finished. And as I mentioned before as well, this video is to celebrate the people who have subscribed, who have been clicking on these videos. I appreciate you so much because again, I am no one on the internet, but you still decided to click on this random video you saw, even though it's a million hours long. So thank you so much for that. Now, my goal for this video, we're going to tour a little bit through Willow Creek, but I'm going to keep it under 30 minutes. Not starting now because I need to actually introduce the video. But yes, that's my goal. Once it hits 30 minutes, I don't care if I'm not through with all that I wanted to get through, I'm stopping the video. Okay, so with that being said, we're going to hop around to the different neighborhoods of Willow Creek, probably tour 1 to 2 builds in each one, and yeah, that's going to be pretty much it. So, for Willow Creek, just to give you a quick explanation, if you don't know, Willow Creek is supposed to be inspired by New Orleans, right? But the EA builds maybe don't give off that vibe, so with this save file, I went in, I tried to give it a more authentic, I guess, what do you call that style down there? Yeah, well, I don't remember the actual term. Maybe it'll come to me later, but I wanted to make it a bit more authentic to what this world was supposed to be inspired by. So hopefully you see that in these builds. I thought I did a pretty good job. But anyways, I'm not going to ramble on any longer. I'm setting the timer for 30 minutes. And with that, we're going to jump into our first build. So here we are in Foundry Cove. Foundry Cove is pretty much, I guess you could call it the low income neighborhood of Willow Creek. So what I kind of imagine for this neighborhood is to the rest of Willow Creek, especially the more upper class Sims, people in the higher echelon, I feel like they view Foundry Cove as one of those places where you typically try to avoid maybe the rougher part of town, but if you actually live there, you will see it's not a bad place. It's really big on community. All the neighbors know each other, they look out for each other. And yeah, maybe a little bit of crime happens here or there, but for the most part, it's a good neighborhood. It just gets a bad rep. It's kind of similar to where I grew up. So that's kind of where I took some of the inspiration from, as well as my friend Pinterest. I was inspired from some images I found up there to kind of help build out this whole neighborhood. So as you can see, there's a lot of row shotgun style homes, and then at the end of the street down there we have this really cute apartment complex, and I went and tooled it up, putting some trash, graffiti, things like that, just to make this neighborhood feel a bit more lived in. So mostly the type of homes you can find here are starter homes, and most of them are going to be rentals. So we have 2 rentals here, 4 rental unit over here, and this will be the only home you can buy outright. So the home next to it is just for show. And yeah, so I'm gonna give you a tour of this home right here. As I mentioned, in the final version of the save, these will be 2 rentals that your Sims can start off in. So very simple design. Again, typical kind of row house you might see down in New Orleans. And the furnishing is pretty simple too because it's supposed to be a starter home. So pretty cheap for your Sims to move in. 16,000 simoleons set as residential, but again, it's going to be a rental, so it'll be a bit cheaper. So we have nice little living room space for your Sims to watch TV, maybe have a few people over. Then we have a decent sized kitchen, a bedroom, move this grass out of the way. You saw nothing. You saw nothing. Okay, but yeah, nice sized bedroom, honestly. Here, it's a bit dark because I have a habit of setting all the lights to auto lights. So we have this little bathroom here, nothing special. Again, very plain home, but it gets the job done for a sim that's just starting off in the world. And then next door, before I release the save, I'm gonna go in, set up some rooms here, since we have rentals now. And then we have this nice little backyard I've done up. I feel like maybe someone was on their way out or just moving in. Maybe they're cleaning up this rental for the next people. So we have a little bit of clutter here, broken down fridge, appliances, things like that. So I thought this was a really cute starter home or starter units. Kind of the same floor plan for these houses over here as well. Across the street, we have the BFF household over here. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this street. Again, as I mentioned, we have some project housing over here. I thought this fit in nice with the world. We have a few residents already living there, and you will meet them if you decide to play the save. Now, the next slot we're going to visit is this one over here. This is called the Crackle Box. So let's hop over to that one next. So now we are at the Crackle Box. And again, as I mentioned, I kind of took some inspo from where I grew up when building this neighborhood, and we had this gym called the Crackle Box. It was a place where you could rent out and maybe have like teams play or host some events, but mostly for the people that actually lived in the area, it was known as the place where you might have a few parties here or there. You know, you have some local promoters that throw events. So that was kind of the idea behind the Crackle Box. Kind of maybe a bootleg joint or, you know, just someplace where if you don't want to go into the city because it's expensive, you can just come down to the Crackle Box. And around here, we also have this little restaurant I made. So as you can see, it's functional as a restaurant, but I plan on switching it over to a nightclub for the save. And we also have this little small laundromat. I hope it works the way I want it to. I haven't play tested it yet. I don't know if Sims actually will do their laundry if you put it in their inventory or something. I need to try that out. But here we are in the main part, the main focus of the build, the Crackle Box. So as you can see, very hole in the wall type place. We have a dance floor, a few folding chairs and tables, nothing too fancy. But again, Foundry Cove is all about community. People come here to just enjoy each other's company. They're not trying to be caught up in the big, busy city life. So you might come here after work for a drink or two. Maybe you just want to throw a little shindig, something like that. There's enough room to do it. This lot runs pretty well, even though it's small. I feel like it doesn't get overcrowded or it's not hard to navigate when you play here. And then we have some really simple bathrooms over here. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And I thought of an idea too. You know, there's a lot of cool CC out there. One of them being a pool table or billiards, if you would like to call it that. So it's possible to add some stairs, and you know, you can create a little pool hall up here. But anyway, that is pretty much it for the Crackle Box. Very simple lot, but again, that's all the people of Foundry Cove need. They just want somewhere where they can hang out and have some cheap drinks and dance to some good music. So let me give you a better view. Crackle Box. And then over here, the restaurant, which I feel is like one of those places where, sure, it's not the cleanest, as you can see by the stains back here, but they have some really good food and it's reasonably priced. So yeah, that's pretty much it for Foundry Cove. I hope you like it, because now we're going to be moving on to the next neighborhood. Now we have hopped over to Courtyard Lane, I believe, and if Foundry Cove is for the more low-income citizens of Willow Creek, then Courtyard Lane is for the middle-class families. Or, I mean, let's be honest, nowadays there's not really middle class, so this is probably the barely having their head above water or kind of upper class families. But either way, yeah, we have a lot of really nice, I don't know how you would describe it, but yeah, nice family homes. Again, I feel like they're pretty authentic to that New Orleans style that you might find. So, kind of taking you down Courtyard Lane, we have a variety of houses down here. So, if your sim is looking to move into this neighborhood, you better make sure they have a job and they have some simoleons saved up because there are no starter homes here. And I thought that was pretty realistic to the world, because not every neighborhood is going to have a starter home. I feel like that makes it more of an interesting game if you give your sims a goal to work towards. So, yeah, we have two empty homes here that you can move your Sims in, and again, they are not starter homes. As you can see, we have the Pancakes household. Yes, they still live here, and they're still as dramatic as ever, but it has been redone. And we also have a few new faces on this block, and we're going to tour two of those houses which are on the same lot because this will be set as rentals. Again, the for rent pack coming in clutch. Even though it might be glitchy, it is pretty useful. So when it comes to the Sims on this lot, we have two families. We have a family in this house and we have a family in this home. So we're going to look at this one first. I really like the look of it, kind of on my little Simsy, I guess, vibe with the blue Suburban, all blue everything, blue New Orleans. But yeah, let's take a look. So for the family that lives here, it's actually just one man, one old man. And I don't know if you guys have seen the Netflix movie with Tom Hanks. If you haven't, good. You shouldn't see it. It's terrible. But anyways, in the movie, he was this grumpy old man who had lost his wife and, spoiler alert, his unborn child. So yeah, he's pretty much just fed up with everything. He doesn't really want to deal with people and he wants to be on his own. So that's kind of the same story I gave this sim. As you can see, here he is right here, Mr. Birch, and he has some old photos with him and his wife. But this is his home. This is where he lives right now. So I thought I did a good job of kind of giving it, no offense, that old people's vibe. Not anything too special in here. He has his office space. He's in the military. I'm thinking about making him retired, but I feel like when you retire Sims and you don't play them, they end up becoming like NPCs at cafes and stuff. I gotta play test that a bit more. But if that's not the case, I plan on retiring him. But yeah, Clyde Birch, as you can see. And here's his bedroom. Still has his wife touch because I feel like he wouldn't really be all for the flowers and stuff. More pictures of his wife because he loved her very much. Then we have half bath. And of course, we have the unfinished nursery because I thought that was a nice touch, even though it's a bit tragic. But that is pretty much it for Mr. Birch's house. Nothing too special here. And then his backyard. So that's his story. And then next door, we have the Herrera Cuevas family. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it right. I need to get the pronunciation down since I gave them that name. But yeah, we have them over here. And again, as I mentioned, if you've seen that Netflix movie, you kind of have an idea of what this family is about. But they have moved in. They're a pretty young family, as you can see here from the photos they have on the wall. They're still figuring things out, making their way in the world. But the mom here, she's a very happy, cheerful person, and she's took it upon herself to basically help Clyde get back out there and show him that, life is still worth living. So, a bit chaotic, as you can see from the living room. Pretty small. They have their things all over the place. There's also a piano in here because the dad is part of Sul Sul Records. He's an artist or a producer there. We have this really small, homey kitchen. I really like the vibes of it. Again, pretty cluttered. They're not the most neat family. We have the parents' bedroom here with some pictures of their children because they love them very much. And as you can see, the Sims, Jocelyn, and Mateo. And then across the hall, we have the children's bedroom here. So yes, our beautiful boy, Javi, and his little brother stays in this room. And as you can see, here he is right here, looking so cute. But yeah, that's their room. They share it because, again, they're just starting off in life, so they can't really afford to have a place where the kids have their own bedrooms. And now I'm giving you a little overview of the home. And then little enclosed patio or sunroom, however you want to call it. And that takes us out to the backyard. So again, not too much here, just a little play mat and some planters. But that's pretty much it for this household. So again, the whole storyline here is this family, they're just trying to make their way through life. Mateo's trying to hit it big in the music industry, and Jocelyn, she is an interior designer, so they're just trying to, help build their family up. But also, they're taking it upon themselves to help out poor Mr. Clyde next door. So that's their story here. But yeah, so far that's going to be it for Courtyard Lane because, again, I'm not trying to make this video too long, so we're only going to tour that one house. So with that being said, I think we're going to hop over to the next neighborhood now. So here's your last look of Courtyard Lane, and yeah, see you in the next one. Now we have hopped over to Pendula View. Pretty iconic neighborhood because it houses a pretty iconic family that we all know and love. The Goth family, of course. So here we are at the Goth family cemetery. It's been passed down generation to generation, and even though Mortimer is currently a successful scientist, he's focused on working at, I believe it's called Future Labs, he is still taking up the job as caretaker for the graveyard because, again, it's kind of a family heirloom at this point, so he has great pride in it. And right beside that is the Goth's family home. So I wanted to keep it in the same vein as the EA one, where it's all black, very gothic, because it's the Goths, and I feel like that's their vibe. They're supposed to be, I'm guessing, inspired by the Addams family. And when I think of them, I think of black. Maybe it's cliche, but that's just what I think of. But yeah, that's their home. But unfortunately for them, times are a-changin'. So, as you can see, this place has been built up to have more stately, I guess, prim and proper homes compared to the Goths in the cemetery across the street, which has led to some not so good issues. So as fitting with the rest of the deco houses in the neighborhood, we have some really nice stately homes. As you can see here, this one is empty, ready for your Sims to move in if they're making bank because it's very expensive. But over here, we have the home of the mayor of Willow Creek, Mayor Hassan Youssef. Again, sorry if I'm not pronouncing it right. Pronunciation is hard, but hopefully I'll get it down. But yes, the mayor, she lives here with her wife and her 2 kids, and unfortunately her sister, who she has issues with. But yeah, let's take a look inside the mayor's home. It's kind of dark because, again, these lights are set to auto, so let me drop some in here quickly so you can see. But from the overhead view, you can kind of see what I mean when I say the homes in this neighborhood are a bit more prim and proper. You're probably not going to be staying here unless you're making serious bank or you're pretty well off in your career. But here we are. So we have this nice little foyer area. We have this really small living room, but I thought we needed one in here. And then we have a look at the Hussein Youssef family. So again, we have our mayor, her wife, her sister, and her 2 children. So when it comes to this family, the mayor, she is, let's say she's ruffling a few feathers. Because, as I mentioned before, things are changing around here. A lot of new people are moving in, even though the Goths, they were here first. They've kind of established themselves. They're a pretty big part of the town's history, but the people moving in, they really don't want the eyesore that is the Goths family home. Okay, oh, sorry, trying to give you a view of this room, a little sunroom. But yeah, they really don't want that cemetery across the street. It's bringing down property values. They really don't like the vibes of it. So the mayor is on her campaign to kind of, I guess, or a project of beautification when it comes to Pendula View. So that's one of her goals as mayor of Willow Creek, and she's enlisting the help of the Concerned Citizens group, which includes a few familiar faces, one of them being Eliza Pancakes. Yeah, she is in that group, of course she is. But yeah, their whole goal is to basically get the Goths to not sell, because obviously there's dead people there, so you can't really do that. But their whole goal is to get them to sell the cemetery to someone else who will maybe fix it up and make it look presentable. Because right now, it looks like something you would see out of a horror movie. So that's their goal, and hopefully to push out the Goths as well so they can destroy that home. But of course, the Goths aren't taking that. They're not going to take it. And that causes some issues, as you can see, because the mayor's daughter is actually friends with Cassandra Goth. So you can probably guess that she has issues with her mother, because her mother is actively trying to push out her best friend and their family. And speaking of daughter, besides that, they have much more issues, because I feel like the governor, she is the type who kind of sees the boy as being more valuable when it comes to children. And I know that's kind of a bad thing to say. This is the boy, the son's room here. But yeah, she kind of babies him. She puts him on a very high pedestal, and that has caused some friction between her and her daughter. But on the other hand, her wife actually has a pretty solid relationship with their daughter, as well as her sister. Her sister also gets along. So that also adds to the animosity she feels with her sister. And yeah, this is a lot. I can ramble on and on about this family, but there's a lot of drama here between them, between other people in the neighborhood. So, and again, I'm not trying to make this video super long, so I'm just gonna stop rambling there. But this is pretty much it for the governor's or mayor's home. So as you can see, we toured the bedroom, the son's bedroom, the daughter's bedroom, and then here is the sister's bedroom, who, while her sister is pretty conservative and I guess more snobbish, the sister is laid back, kind of the hippie style vibe. She's also a part of Slow Records. She's an up and coming artist there. So we have her guitar, you know, her kind of vibe. And yeah, this she also has some drama going on with a pretty well-known face to the Sims community, but I'll let you discover that yourself. And then that moves us to the backyard, where we have this nice little pool area, and then this kind of, I guess, pool house where you just throw some random skill building stuff in here. I have a treadmill right now, but if you choose to play this family, or if you want to kick them out and move another family in, be my guest. But you have somewhere to just throw some stuff in. And that's pretty much it for the governor's house. One final look. Very nice, very nice. I really like how this house turned out. And also, it probably looks familiar, because I'm pretty sure a lot of Simmers have built this house before. It is a pretty popular image on Pinterest, but I liked it a lot. So I wanted to try to take a stab at it. I thought I did pretty good, but yeah, that's the mayor's home. And maybe you can meet her and some of the other townies if you decide to play this safe. So with that, let's move on to the next neighborhood. Welcome to Madame Vogue's Museum. So the story behind Madame Vogue's Museum. So Madame Vogue, very iconic, very legendary, very mother type of woman, as you can guess by her name. She is pretty iconic in the sense that she was all about women, in the past, maybe when women weren't being treated as actual human beings, they were being, discrimination, sexism, all of that stuff. Madame Vogue, very rich woman in her own right, opened up the conservatory for women. And in this conservatory, women from all over came over to better themselves and their musical talents. And since her passing and since time has gone on, progress has been made, she's now being honored by having the conservatory, I guess, turned into a museum. So here we are. Now, when it comes to museums in The Sims, they are kind of boring and could sometimes seem pointless. So the idea behind this museum was to add a good amount of things for your Sims to do. So we have this fun little maze here where you can go through, maybe take some pictures in the middle. Then we also have a space for your Sims to get married over here. And then of course, when you have a wedding, walk past this nice little pond and gazebo, you need a reception area. So that's what we have over here. We have a nice little setup for your Sims to come over and celebrate the wedding, some tables, DJ booth. There's also some spaces for you to actually place the wedding cake and food and all of those good things. And yeah, maybe you won't ever need it because you know how weddings are in The Sims, and who wants to go through all that? I don't. That's why I don't have my wedding stories. But either way, it's there for the people who are brave enough to go through it. Salute to you. Bathroom out here for your Sims to handle their business. And that's pretty much it for the outside. We also have this nice little atrium over here, or greenhouse. I don't know exactly what you would call this. But if your Sims are a part of the local gardening club, maybe they can come over here and tend to the plants or build their skills in flower arranging and all that good stuff. Or just take pictures because look at the lighting in here. Very nice indeed. But yeah, a lot of things for your Sims to do here. They don't just have to come and look at the pictures. But if they want to do so, there's a lot of cool things in the exhibit to see. So as I said, this was formerly a conservatory, so a lot of the pictures here are of women in the arts. I downloaded a lot of cool paintings from the gallery because I didn't want to use the same ones over and over. We also have some exhibits set up because I envisioned maybe Madame Vogue, and she actually lived here, and maybe she housed some of the women here because it was a conservatory. So we have some exhibits. We have more paintings here. So as you can see, a lot of them are music themed. We have the famous piano here, maybe where some legends came and performed. Some of the instruments over here, violin, cello, all of those cool things. And then of course, whenever you have a museum, you gotta have some place where you can buy overly priced foods. So this museum, if you don't like museums, is also functional as a restaurant. And here I have it set up. The menu is kind of cafe style because I thought that's pretty fitting with the museum. But yeah, there it is. And there's some more seating outside as well. And then going back to the front of the museum, we have this little library area. Again, more artwork of women. Honestly, I want to try to find more people of color, because I just noticed there's a lot of white people. And there's nothing wrong with that, but also, you know what I'm saying. We'll like a little bit of melanin in here. And anyways, we have this little room for the research computers because again, we need to make museums useful. So if you have a sim that needs to do some research, they can just come over to the museum. That's pretty much it for the bottom floor. And then when we go to the top, again, more pictures around here for you to see. And then that brings us to the Madame Vogue exhibit. So Madame Vogue, as I mentioned, iconic, legendary, one of one. She was a woman known not only for being charitable, but being a fashion icon. So here we have some of her outfits on display in the museum, as you can see, looking around. Her best pieces, nice and preserved, along with her jewelry. And this was her bedroom as well. So you can take a look at where she laid her head at night. And then this room over here, maybe this was like her sitting room or whatever. I don't know what you would call it. Bathroom with her golden toilet. Because even though, yes, she did a lot of good things, she was still rich. So that means she delved into maybe not so smart purchases such as a golden toilet. Also, this is a throwback shout out to The Sims 3. If you know, you know, that museum with the golden toilet. So I thought that would be nice to include in here. But yeah, that's her bathroom. And that's pretty much it for the top floor. It's just Madame Vogue's exhibit. Also, a kid's room, because why not? If you have kids, you need to send them off someplace. And yeah, that's all for this museum. We have some easels around the place because, again, it's all about art here. And we want your Sims to have things to do. But I really like how this museum turned out. It almost killed me in the process because, yeah, it was just a lot. A lot to do, a lot to build, a lot to furnish. But it came out nicely in the end. And then kind of giving you a peek over here, this is where we have the Spencer Kim Lewis household. It's kind of giving off Southern plantation vibes. I don't know how I feel about that. But the matriarch, I think Olivia Lewis? I can't remember her name. But yeah, I envision she is the owner of this home. Her family's very rich. They have deep roots in the community. She's also probably part of the Concerned Citizens group. And yeah, she owns this home. So if you know, you know. Oh, that's my timer. 30 minutes, but it's fine. It's fine. We're almost finished. We're almost finished. I'm going to let myself keep going. But yeah, if you know, you know. You know about the Spencer Kim Lewis household. I'm gonna try to rework their lore because, as it stands, I feel like they're a very boring family. But I want to give them one more chance of redemption. So they are still going to be in this save. They're just gonna have a bit of a different story to them. I'm kind of thinking of Blackish vibes, if you ever seen that show. But yeah, I'm gonna change it up a bit. But that is pretty much it for this neighborhood. And then, right, so I lied. We're not going to Park Next because I'm holding myself accountable. I said this video was going to be over 30 minutes. It already is. Blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to stop it right here after this build, after we tour the bars and crawdad quarters. Because I feel like you can't really discuss a New Orleans inspired world if we don't get a tour of this obviously inspired version of Bourbon Street. So yeah, basically this is my take on Bourbon Street. I think it came out pretty good. I thought I did a good job of capturing the essence of everything. As far as builds go, I feel like there's a good mix. We have the Fox and Hound restaurant on this side over here off screen. We have these two bars. We have a theater, and then down there we have Crawdad Marketplace, where you can find a whole variety of things. Oh my gosh, there's a bee outside my window. I got distracted. But yeah, there's a flea market over there. There's offices over there for your Sims to work if they have some type of stay-at-home or freelance career. There's a faux coffee shop. And there's just a lot of things because it's set as a marketplace thanks to the, what's that pack called? Eco Lifestyle Pack. So it's pretty functional, honestly. It works, it runs really well, really well. But anyways, jumping into this build right here, as you can see, it's called Crawdad Street. And I wanted it to feel like the ultimate party place when maybe you have Sims on vacation here, or you just want to come out for a night on the town, you would hit up probably all the bars on the street, but let's pretend like there's more bars than just these two. But yeah, these two bars have two completely different vibes. This one right here, I feel like is a bit more relaxed, a bit more homey in a sense. If you look at the decor, very cluttered. The vibes are all over the place. We don't really know what we're going for here, but that's the best type of places to visit. And I feel like if you have Sims that maybe just want, I'm not going to say cheap drink because due to the location, it's probably expensive, but you just want a good time, more relaxed vibe. People come here to maybe put on a comedy routine or show off like their new songs, show off their bands, whatever it may be. We have the bar over here where you might come and watch a game. But yeah, very small, very simple bar over here. And then we of course have some bathrooms in the back. That's pretty much it for this bar. And then the one next door, those vibes are a bit more elevated, as you can see from the inside. We have this nice open archways here, kind of free flowing from outside to inside, so you can kind of see if the vibes are good or not before you walk in and commit, because you know it's kind of awkward when you come in and you're like, no, this isn't it, and you have to turn right around and walk out. So instead of going through that, you can just walk past and you can see very quickly. Anyways, here is the bar over here, and then in this back room we have a dance floor and a DJ, because I feel like maybe Friday and Saturday nights they bring in a DJ, kind of gives off more club vibes in here. And then in the back of the bar, oops, didn't mean to spin the camera like that, we have a little booze table, also a place to escape if it's getting too loud or smoky in there. And then upstairs at the top of this bar, we have a bit of a even more private space. We have the bubble blowers. You know, you want to come up here, blow some bubbles with your friends, some nice mood lighting going on here. And if you got a little cash to spend, you can go in the private VIP area, you know, hang out here. And then, of course, more bathrooms because we need to make sure our Sims don't have bladder failure. But that's pretty much it when it comes to these bars. I think these lots run pretty fine. It's just, you know, if you play with no mods, only one bartender spawns on the lot. But they do a pretty good job of hopping back and forth every few hours, so it doesn't really feel awkward, and I find that Sims fill up both places even if there's only one bartender on lot, especially if you add like in a DJ or if your Sims are just in this one while the bartender is in this one. It helps fill out the space, and it kind of gives off that vibe I wanted to, with like, you know, a packed Bourbon Street, the people are out in the town, things like that. So yeah, that's pretty much it with these builds. I'll give you another overview. And then, yeah, you can kind of see down here on the street, give you a day view as well. Again, Fox and the Hound restaurant. But with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video here because I'm sticking to my promise of keeping it short, because we're quickly approaching like an hour and I don't want to do that. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Again, I want to thank everyone who's been clicking on the video, even if it's just for a few seconds or a minute. I think it's still pretty cool that you're just checking it out because you want to, you know, why not? And also shout out to the subscribers again. We're now up to 3, which is very exciting. As I mentioned, I believe in the last video, if you are fine with maybe having these videos be a little bit longer, since they're more, I don't know, I guess interesting, but I think my videos are interesting already, so I'm not going to say that. But yeah, depending on, since, okay, let's pretend I started talking now. Okay, so due to the type of video this is, if you're fine with the videos being longer, let me know, and I won't limit myself to 30 or 40 minutes. But if you prefer it shorter, that's also cool too. I don't really mind because these are just tour videos versus build videos where I prefer it to be longer, because That's just easier for me, and it's kind of just me recording my thoughts and stuff. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed the sneak peek or preview of Willow Creek. I'll probably give a few more tours of the world, probably just the base game ones. So Oasis Springs and Newcrest are probably next. And I have some more videos upcoming of me building the save. I'm sorry I can't talk. It's very hard to talk, you know. But yeah, I have more videos coming up of me doing builds in the save, specifically Silva Dorada and Sulani, because those are the last two worlds, and then we're officially done. Also, by the time you see this video, Doo save file will probably already be in playtesting mode. So once again, shout out to all the good people who volunteered to playtest. Hopefully the people that I reached out to respond and are still able to do it. If not, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not going to think about that too much because I have a vacation to get ready for it. Anyways, it is almost, or it is 10:39 at night. I need to go to bed. I have a job. I have to get up early in the morning. So I'm going to end it here. Again, thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to say hi in the comments. I am no one. I'll say hello. And yeah, I hope you guys are having a good day, evening, whenever and wherever you're watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye. Oh yeah, let me wave. Bye bye.